Hi friends, I'm Dr. Ryan here. Today we will discuss the importance of cortisol hormone in our body, and I also want to discuss with you what is the connection between cortisol and stress, and how the cortisol will really create a problem in your body and why this cortisol is very important. So here, cortisol is a steroid hormone that regulates a wide range of processes throughout the body, including metabolism and the immune response. It also has a very important role in helping the body respond to stress. That is a friend which is already said you. It also has a very important role in helping the body to respond to stress. Think of cortisol as nature's built-in alarm system. It's your body's main stress hormone. It works with certain parts of your brain to control your mood, motivation, and fear. So through this slide, friend, it is very clear that how cortisol is having connection with many issues in our body, and when it comes to stress, why it is very important to know, and it also important to know what is the role of cortisol and why we need to understand how cortisol hormone create imbalance in your body. And when it comes to stress, so for example, sometime if when the people are too stressed, or for simple reason if they get stressed and all, there is some alarm they should know and they should understand about this hormone very well. Now, dear friend, let us discuss what is cortisol. Cortisol is a steroid hormone, one of the glucocorticoids made in the cortex of the adrenal glands and then released into the blood. It's very clear here, which transports it all around the body. Almost every cell contains receptors for cortisol, and so cortisol can have a lot of different actions depending on which sort of cell it is acting upon. So dear friend, in the picture, I have shown you one picture here, and how the cortisol is really needed for in the different parts of the body, or what I can say different areas of the body. And here maybe in this slide it is very clear that why the cortisol hormone is very important in our body, and in future slides we are also going to see if it is less what is going to happen, if it is more what is going to happen, and which is the area you need to really consult your doctor and discuss regarding this hormone. These effects include controlling the body's blood sugar level and thus regulating metabolism, dear friends, which I already discussed with you, acting as an anti-inflammatory, influencing memory formation, controlling salt and water balances, influencing blood pressure, and helping development of the fetus. In many species, cortisol is also responsible for triggering the process in individuals giving birth. So dear friends, I think I don't have to explain you once again in this slide, which is very clearly mentioned. I think I should read it once again. Blood sugar, metabolism, anti-inflammatory, memory formation, and controlling salt and water balance, and influencing blood pressure and the development of fetus. So see dear friends, how I got this idea, because as I was going through the internet, I could read about this particular hormone which is called as cortisol hormone, and even I was very surprised to see this, how this particular hormone is creating what I can say a way, or creating balance in forming our body in a proper way, or what I can say how this cortisol hormone is really important for our body, and why as an individual why I and you should know about this hormone. Maybe in this slide it gives you a clear information on how the cortisol hormone create impact and why the cortisol hormone is important when it comes to managing body's blood sugar, metabolism, or memory formation, how to the balancing of salt and water, and also the very important development of fetus. So here, I think I have already told you what happens if I have too much cortisol. So level of cortisol, see anything, if it is high or less will really create a problem for your body. Maybe one example I want to give you. If the water level is less, you know what is going to happen. If the salt level is less in your body, you know what is going to happen. And similar way, when you intake certain, what I can say, when you certain minerals, certain vitamins, when you intake less, you know how that is going to create problem for your body. Similarly, the cortisol hormone. So here, dear friends, in this slide, which is very clear, what happens if I have too much cortisol? Rapid weight gain, mainly in the face, chest and abdomen, contrasted with slender arms and legs, a flushed and round face, high blood pressure, osteoporosis, skin changes, muscle weakness, mood swings which show as anxiety, depression or irritability. I think, dear friends, it is very important when we speak of psychological aspects. Mood swings which shows as anxiety, depression or irritability, increased thirst and frequency of urination. High cortisol level over a prolonged time can also cause lack of sex drive in women. Periods can become irregular, less frequent, or stop altogether. So, dear friends, I think the slide is very clear. I think I don't have to explain once again. The slide is very clear. What happened if you have too much cortisol, and why one has to be very, very careful when it comes to cortisol. What happens if I have too little cortisol, or what I can say, if the cortisol level is too less in my body, if the cortisol level is not as it has to be in our body, what is going to happen? Too little cortisol may be due to a problem in the pituitary gland or the adrenal gland or Addison's disease, what we say. The onset of symptom is often very gradual. Symptoms may include fatigue, dizziness, weight loss, muscle weakness, mood changes, and the darkening of region of the skin. Without treatment, this is potentially life-threatening condition. And dear friends, I have told you very clearly in the one more scene, one more sentence is very clear. Why, when if at all you come to know these problems in your body, with whom you have to contact? I have mentioned here you have to contact endocrinologist. Why? Because the diagnosis has to take place. See, dear friends, particularly the previous slide and this slide, what happens if I have too much cortisol, or what happens if I have too less cortisol? So both are very important. If at all your family or your friends come across these symptoms and all, I request, or I kindly request, to go for a cortisol checkup. So, dear friends, here it is very clear. Question to ask your doctor. If you suspect that your cortisol level are not where they should be, which I have told you already, the first step to getting help is to talk to your doctor. Your doctor can order a number of tests to determine if you have low or high cortisol levels. Question to ask your doctors include: how do cortisol levels vary throughout the day? I think this is a very important. What underlying conditions could be affecting my cortisol levels? How can I manage cortisol levels to regain my health? What testing is needed to determine the causes of my symptoms? Dear friends, the questions are very clear. You can see it once again, you can listen it to once again. But if at all you, the previous slide and the previous slide, and here is the answer for you. What questions you should ask? Surely doctors will suggest you something, but the certain questions you need to ask in order to have a proper clarification, or in order to know, understand the exact cortisol level in your body. And dear friend, this is what I got through from the internet, like cortisol reducing foods. But dear friends, I suggest you one thing. This is just for the information purpose which I'm showing you. But anything, any matter, you need to consult your doctor in proper way so that you have thorough knowledge. And dear friends, I also tell you, if at all as you're going through this PPT, or you as you're going through video, somewhere if you suspect that okay, this might be a condition or this might be a situation, I request you to go for a proper checkup of your cortisol level in your body, and then properly plan with your doctor what food you should take, what food you should not take, and what is the treatment that you have to undergo to balance the cortisol level in your body. Maybe dear friends, by the time you're very clear that if you have high level of cortisol, what is going to happen, and if you have low level of cortisol, what is going to happen, and by the time you also know that why we have to balance the cortisol level in our body. So here, natural ways to balance cortisol levels, which I would like to discuss with you. Go to bed each night at the same time. wake up at the same time, and get out in the sunshine. Get out in the sunshine, not get out, you have to wake up. Get out in the sense you have to wake up and you have to go out in the sunshine, you have to go out. This create a good circadian rhythm which optimize your hormone balance naturally. See dear friends, you can see here circadian rhythm which optimize your hormone balance naturally, because what the important matter what you need to remember here is that, and when you go in the sunshine, that create a positive impact for your body. Dear friends, this is which I'm discussing with you. But anything, any matter when it comes to cortisol, please be very careful and consult your doctor. And see which is already mentioned here. See, since the title is natural ways, I will just discussing with you what is the natural remedy which you need to follow. But remember friend, this is not the permanent one. Or again, I'm not saying you that this is something you should do, but before doing anything you need to consult your doctor. Limit alcohol. You might think it relaxes you, but alcohol actually increases cortisol. So dear friends, you have to be very careful. And again here it is said that avoid caffeine, sugar and processed food. Better eating, what I can say, as it is said, the quote here will clearly say that eat food from a plant, not made in plant. So again, I'll read for you. Eat foods from a plant, not made in a plant. So dear friends, why it is? Because in order to balance your cortisol level, what these 3 points suggest you, maybe the going in the sunshine, reducing the alcohol level, or eat foods from a plant, not made in the plant. This clearly says that what diet or what system, what are the natural ways you have to follow. But dear friends, again, if you take any step, or if at all once you go through this video, if at all you suspect that you need to go, you need to check, dear friends, it is better you go, better to consult your doctor, get the proper information. Maybe I have really highlighted the information here, because the doctors will give you more in-depth information. The doctors will give you more in-depth or clear understanding, and that will help you to understand the level of cortisol in your body and what proper measure, proper treatment you should take. So here again the continuation. Exercise, however, be aware that running hard and overtraining without enough rest can increase cortisol. Again, the point is very clear, friends. The constant demand for glucose to the muscles can create a form of chronic stress. You may find yoga, pilates, or walking in nature help, helps relax your mind while exercising your body. See dear friends, yoga, plates or walking in a nature helps relax your mind while exercising your body. See these again remind that these are the natural ways which you can follow, which you can really adopt for yourself. And but before you do anything for cortisol, please you need to know that the cortisol level in your body. Get a monthly massage to reduce stress and relax muscles. Beautiful thing. Consider talking to your doctor or pharmacist about taking dietary supplements such as vitamin B complex, vitamin C, and fish oil as intake levels vary. I think for this you need to really consult your doctor. Don't follow self-medication, which is really harmful, which is not good. Anything, any vitamin supplements, any mineral supplements, any food, even if you want to go for an exercise, even you want to do yoga or whatever, with the cortisol, you need to really consult your doctor. I think here, which I can mention here is that try medications to slow your mind down, maybe for the anxiety level, and there are medications and treatments and proper guidance for to maintain the cortisol levels in your body. So deep breathing exercises, and sometime medication and sometime meditation. Dear friends, the points what you need to understand is everything for the to maintain a cortisol level in your body. So dear friends, these are the different references which I have gone through. So before concluding friends, I think I made a very short video to understand what is cortisol level. And in this video is only a foundation. This is not something in depth where you will come to know everything about cortisol. No. Again, I remind you, again, my intention of this video is to make you to understand there is something called cortisol which you need to understand. And one more intention of making this video is that as you're going through video, you will also come to know what is cortisol, and why body require cortisol, what happens if I have too less cortisol, or what happens if I have too much cortisol, and how cortisol regulates and balance in our body or other systems in our body. I think I have told you very clearly. But friends, I really request you, you have to really read further. You have to really read further. You can refer different sites in the sites, or you can read books and all. You get plenty of information about cortisol. What information I have presented today is that the precise one. Whatever I have read, whatever I have referred different sources and all, I have collected with all that verified, collected a very minimal information so that you can understand what is cortisol. I think this video will tell you what is cortisol, why cortisol is required, and what is the role and responsibilities and characteristics of cortisol in our body. But dear friend, doesn't mean that if you see this video you will get an in-depth information. No, in the in-depth information I request you to go through the books, go through your internet source and consult your doctor. But I think my intention of this video is the people should know what is cortisol and why cortisol play a very important role in maintaining or maintaining stress level in our body. Thank you, friends.